Hello everyone, I'm Elena and this is Applewood Tarot. Today I want to share with you one of my favorite spreads. It's from this book, Explore Your Destiny with Runes. This is an introduction to the runes. It's basic but a good book. Among the spreads in here is one simply called the 11 Stone spread. I call it my weekly spread as that's what I often use it for. It covers a lot, but in bite-sized pieces. We start here and then go down this line like a river and end up with these cards up here. Maybe we'll call it the Crossing the River spread. For a quick overview, this is the distant and recent past, goals, obstacles, fears, challenges, strengths, outside influences, gifts, immediate future, and long-term future. Now let's see it in action with a sample spread. Gather these up. Something fictional, like a movie. Practical magic. Let's do that. So, Jillian has just met Jimmy and wants to know what their relationship will be like. Right? So please tell me what Jillian and Jimmy's relationship will be like. Let's put the rest of the deck there. So Jillian's distant and recent past. These are usually things that relate in some way to the situation at hand. A lesson or some such thing was learned at that time that can now be applied to the current situation. So let's see. Jillian is the type of person who finds validation in her love life, even when it's toxic. She often felt second best. She felt that she was lacking. In her past, Jillian experienced a lot of loss. She lost things that were important to her. Even if not all of it was good for her, she still felt it acutely, and it didn't matter that she still had emotional support and love and that she could move forward with her life. She still focused on what she had lost and all the difficulties that came from that. However, she then found healing to a certain extent in being a part of a couple. She was able to be calm and happy in sharing herself with another person. She found validation and comfort. So, what is her goal in her relationship with Jimmy? Movement. She just wants to get going. She doesn't want to think. She just wants to do and act and get to the point where she's almost made it. Things just progress on their own. She wants someone else to take the reins. She wants to just breeze over her emotional issues. Actually, now that I look at it, this river and this little hill right here, there's a house right up there. And it looks very similar to this area right here, with the river and the little house. To me, this indicates that she wants her relationship to push past this difficulty, which, as we already said, she tends to use relationships as a means of feeling better, of self-comfort, self-consolation. There's also an aspect here of performance. She does it to look as if she's healthy and emotionally stable. So, what are the obstacles to her goal? Interesting. The Knight of Swords is someone who takes action without thinking too much about it. He just wants to get going and get what he wants, regardless of who he has to cut down. He doesn't much care for the chaos around him that may or may not be of his doing. The fact that he's moving towards the left indicates that he'll push her backwards. This is in direct opposition, as we can see visually, with her desire, which is to move forward. They seem to be facing off against each other. This knight is chaotic. He doesn't care about who or what he puts in harm's way to achieve his goals. Even that horse looks a little freaked out. So it seems that Jimmy himself is an obstacle to her desires, which, if you've seen the movie, sounds about right. What does she fear in this relationship? She's afraid of being at a standstill. She's afraid of the hard work it takes to build a solid relationship. The Knight of Pentacles is slow-moving, almost to the point of stasis, but he's also a hard worker, and he will put in the time and effort to achieve his goals. In front of him are tilled fields, which is symbolic of the work that has been done and that has yet to be done. Jillian does not like to do this type of work, whether it's for the relationship or even for herself. This kind of thing terrifies her. She is the type of person to breeze over it, to just get going, to cover it up, as we've seen with the previous cards. So what challenges will she see during this relationship? Unfortunately, it looks like her challenge is to put in the work that she's so scared of, to start that process of study and growth and of putting her passions towards what she wants to build in her life, what is healthy to build in her life, what will nourish her, what will provide for her in the future. This page is surrounded by growing things, perhaps things that have grown naturally, but that hint of tilled field there indicates that there is more to do. There's effort to be put in order to grow a proper crop, as opposed to just harvesting what grows around you. Growing your own crops allows you to choose what you will eventually harvest if you put in the work. What strengths will help her through this challenge? Keeping her head. She must be logical. She must be willing to use that sword to cut out what she does not want in her life. We've talked about growth and harvest. In order to harvest, you need to take that scythe and cut away what you want in your life and leave behind what you don't. This king is very cool-headed. Unlike that knight with those chaotic winds and clouds, the king is calm. He is still, but willing to take action after he thinks things through. This shows that Gillian needs to stay calm, keep her head, to be logical in her approach, to be unemotional. We know she tends to be in her emotions a lot and could really benefit from just taking a breath, looking at things objectively, and then taking action only after she's thought things through. So what will be an outside influence to this relationship? I see this as her sister, Sally. She is the mothering type. She's very earthy. She's the one with kids and a solid home life. She's the one who nurtures the world around her and who is very deep in her environment, in her neighborhood and community. She's very grounded. Where the King of Swords looks outward, she looks down at what is in her care. A gift, so a good thing that will come from this relationship. If you've seen the movie, this is hilarious. But of course, Gillian herself has not seen her own movie, so if she were in front of me, I would tell her a deep transformation. Something will come to an end so that she can be free. She will be rid of something in her life. Something that has probably been dead for a while. This relationship will bring a painful ending of some sort. It might hurt, but she will be better off for it. Remember, this is in the gift position of the spread, so even if you get a seemingly negative card, this will turn out to be an ultimately good thing. Yes, she will hurt. Yes, something will come to a close, but it's for the best, truly. Knowing the context of the movie, I don't think I need to tell you that this is one of the rare times the death card means an actual death. I don't know if I should spoil it or not, so I'll just leave it at that. Before we look at her future, let's review what we've got so far. So in her past, as we've seen, she tends to cover her hurts with these performative relationships. This is what she wants for her relationship with Jimmy. But Jimmy himself will be an obstacle to this. He will bring only chaos and a whirlwind with him. She fears doing this hard work, but starting this hard work is exactly what she needs to do in order to overcome the challenges of this relationship. In the movie, her rash actions are what instigate a lot of problems for her. Had she kept a level head, this would have allowed her to react in ways that better suited her goals, that caused less issues. Her sister will be a strong influence on this relationship. We know she is able to get away from Jimmy temporarily to go visit her sister. She is the one thing that she prioritizes truly over her romantic relationships. A gift will be deep transformation, a very distinct before and after. And as I mentioned, a literal death will be in her life. So, considering all of this, what is her immediate and long term future in this relationship with Jimmy? Initially, she's going to have a really good time. From a distance, things will look amazing. Emphasis on from a distance and look amazing. She'll be ecstatic about this new relationship. She'll be ready to share it with the world. It'll be just her and Jimmy having this really great time. It's interesting how this character here looks very similar to this one here. They're both wearing white and blue. The other characters are dressed differently because, of course, we know she likes to cycle through different men. Ultimately, though, she will, later in the relationship, take a good look at it from a distance and ask herself if it's what she really wants. She will think, is this all there is? Is this worth it? She may prioritize the relationship she has with her sister. The roses and lilies here make me think of the roses here and how she and her sister are intertwined. That's a foundational relationship for her. She'll be with her sister and review from a distance what it is she really has with Jimmy, and is it something she actually wants to venture out into, to go back to? This character almost seems to be looking towards this idyllic image of what she used to have with him. Does she try to go back to that, or should she move on? I like to look at the bottom of the deck as a last bit of advice, sort of a 4 best results. So, what should Jillian do for best results in this relationship with Jimmy? Remember how bad it gets. Think of the nightmare that it is to be with him, truly. Put your thoughts in order and really contemplate this relationship. Think of who he is, think of what he does for you, what he brings up in you. The Four of Wands, as I said, is from a distance and it's very performative. The Nine of Swords is up close and personal. He keeps her up at night. He hurts her physically and emotionally. He has her in a horrid emotional state. Of course, from a distance, we can say that's not a good relationship. That's very toxic. So she really needs to remember this and keep in mind how bad it gets in order to make the best of this relationship. And what I mean by make the best out of it is not necessarily staying together or appeasing him in some way. I mean to say that sometimes the best thing for both of you is to let it go, is to cut them off, is to let it end. There are a lot of details here that I could really sink into and speak more on. But I wanted to just give a surface level reading to let you see how this spread works in action. It was actually a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do more tutorials like these with fictional characters as querents. Alright, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed learning this spread, and feel free to incorporate it into your practice. Though, of course, give credit to Joanna Sandsmark for creating it. If you like, share your favorite spreads. What are some staples in your practice? I had so much fun today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. See you next time.